In today's question, we are talking running backs, Nick Chubb or Kareem Hunt. Who is more valuable to the Browns offense? There's a lot of ways we could go with this one. Nick Chubb almost won a rushing title last year, should have won the rushing title last year. Kareem Hunt, we know how versatile he is. He has won a rushing title, and we know what he can do in this offense. Who is more valuable? We'll explore this a little more. I'm just going to throw the name out there. I still think Nick Chubb is more valuable to this offense. I still think he's the most valuable piece to this offense. His ability to run the football, big plays, play action, that's what this is built around. That's my choice. Mary Kay, what about you?
Well, I think it kind of depends on how they decide to use these guys. Now, if they didn't have Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt could fill the dual role of every down back, third down back, and all the other things that he can do. And as we all saw in his rookie year in Kansas City, he was extremely valuable to them. He did win the rushing title. So, I just think it depends on how they decide to use him and how they view these two guys. And I don't even think they know yet. But I think potentially Kareem Hunt could actually be more valuable to the offense. But I don't think he will be, because I think Nick Chubb will be that workhorse. I think he will be that every down back, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. But, potentially, if for some reason, he wasn't around this year, or if down the road Kareem Hunt was on this football team and Nick Chubb wasn't, I do think that he could potentially be more valuable.
It would be a weird turn of events if Nick Chubb isn't the featured running back this season that he has been the last season and a half. It would be very odd. I think right now, Dan, you're right. Nick Chubb, I think, has to be considered more valuable just because of the way this offense is built and what we kind of expect from it. Kareem Hunt's always been that wild card that we know can be used in a lot of different ways. But I think at its core, Nick Chubb is probably the fuel of this offense, at least in the beginning, while they're trying to figure out how good they can really be. And a lot of this, I think, depends on how well that offensive line adapts and to the new blocking scheme and really gets used to each other. Because, you have two, potentially three new people along that line this season. How well they do, obviously, will have a lot to say about, how well Nick Chubb does. And if there's some sort of issue running the ball, well, then maybe Kareem Hunt becomes more of a weapon and becomes more valuable because of the different things he can do. But right now, going into this season, I'm going to say Nick Chubb too, because I totally expect him to at least to start to kind of be the, first batter up. See, can you be the guy who really fuels this offense? And then they go from there.
When I look at Kareem, he's just such a bruising, punishing runner. So he brings to the table basically the same kind of running ability that Nick Chubb does. I think those guys are very similar, just in terms of just, running over people and not saying die, and just that power running game that you can have with those two guys. So I think he brings both elements. He's Nick, and then he's a little bit of Duke and other running backs that can catch so well out of the backfield, and that can be split out and you can do so many things with them. So I think that's what makes this problem, if you want to call it a problem, a little bit unique for the Browns and for Alex Van Pelt, because they do have two punishing runners.